one of the questions we need to ask ourselves in this whole controversy is, why is it that women can't be elders? I think if most people are honest, like they really don't know. They don't know the answer. Why did God establish that as the rule for the church, right? Why can't women be elders? Why can't women exercise authority over men? I mean, the Bible is clear about this, and so if you say that it's not, then you're just a liar. You aren't qualified to teach. You're not smart enough to teach the way the Bible, it teaches. In other words, so I'm not talking to you. You guys are outside of this conversation. But if you agree that the Bible clearly says that women cannot be elders, ask yourself why. Why is that? Because the reality is, like, a lot of women aspire to be elders, but they can't. And is it God just being arbitrary, right? Like, I mean, fundamentally, men and women are the same, right? So why did God make this rule? Why did God do this? God is not arbitrary, right? God created women to be a certain way, and He created men to be a certain way. And the reality is that the office of elder is unsuitable for a woman when it's taken, in the biblical office of the elder. But the reality is that we these days have neutered the office of elder. Like, we have a whole gaggle of people, conference speakers, authors, that with a straight face say that it's ungodly and uncharitable and not very nice for a pastor to publicly criticize another brother in the Lord, right? Like, that's off limits. And when they say this, they don't get laughed off the stage instantly. They don't just get ridiculed to obscurity. Like people take them seriously. Like, you can't mock or argue with someone's position publicly. We talk about the 11th commandment in the SBC all the time. Like, people actually have that position. Like, real life flesh and blood people think that it's illegitimate to criticize a brother in Christ publicly. And they don't get laughed off the stage, right? So we've neutered the office of elder. I mean, most churches don't exercise any form of church discipline, right? So, like, there's no real confrontation there. There's no need for a confrontational person there. There's no need for it in most churches. So it's been neutered. The office of elder has been neutered. In the old days when the Bible was written, elders would often get arrested. They'd often be beaten. They'd often be, in trouble, like Jeff Durbin in Arizona. He gets in trouble from time to time because he's acting like a godly Christian, and sometimes Caesar don't like that. Sometimes the warriors of Satan point guns at you and stuff like that. You see, like, if that's what most churches, the office of elder, got involved in, if that's what most elders got up to, women wouldn't want to be elders, right? But we've neutered the position of elder to such a degree where it's essentially only suitable for women. Like, one of the things that we have to understand is that we've created a role in the church that's titled elder, but really it isn't an elder. It really isn't. It doesn't do the duty of protecting the flock. It doesn't do the duty of slaying the wolf. It doesn't do the duty of that kind of thing. Getting in the muck and the mire and in the filth of what those sheep are up to, man. Like, this is it's like real life, man. It's real life, and it wouldn't be suitable for women if we actually took it seriously. And so why aren't women not supposed to be elders? Well, they're not suited for it, right? Like women are great. Women are fantastic. I think about my mother. I had a great mother. You know what I mean? And she was nurturing, and she wanted everyone to get along, and she wanted everything to be fair and even Stevens, and she wanted to hear you, and all this kind of. This is all great. This is all great and suitable for a woman to be this way, to be. When there's a time for discipline, like, she wants to show mercy, and she wants to, do like the nurturing, like give you a nice hug and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, that's not all that people need. They need some tough love too, right? They need confrontation. They need someone to smack them in the face, like that clip I played in the other video from The Godfather, right? You can act like a man, like, they need that. My mother would never have said that to me. My mother, and in fact, in that situation where my father told me I was being a coward to my face in a direct way, and I was being a coward, I remember my mother defended me, and she shouldn't have, because I was acting like a coward. And sometimes men, especially men, need to be slapped in the face and say, you know what, you need to act like a man. Grow a pair and act like a man. And women aren't suited to do that. But you see, some women will fake it, man. Some women will fake it. I was listening to this great, listen, say what you want about this guy. He's problematic in many different ways, but I like him very much. It's a comedian named Owen Benjamin, right? And he was talking about, why he would never vote for a woman, right? And so he said, I just wouldn't do it because women, the things that are great about women aren't great for a political leader, right? Like they're just not great for a political leader. And I think that applies to the church as well. Like the things that are great about women aren't great for a pastor. And so he says that like when a woman tries to fake it until they make it, they become like this deranged sort of caricature of what a man. Like he talked about Hillary Clinton, like how she so obviously desperately wants to be a man. She wants to act like a man. And so she'll have all this like fake, obviously fake, like trying too hard bravado. And do you remember that tweet? We came, we saw, he died. And it's like, you're gross, man. You're nasty. Like you're like a real warlord. Like they become what women become when they try to act like men is like the worst kind of a man that you can imagine. The one that has no self-control and is all aggression. Like that's what women become when they try to act like a man. And so Hillary Clinton, if she's ever elected president, will be the worst warlord we ever had. I mean, it's really simple. They become like mafia style. And surprise, surprise, Hillary Clinton's like a mafia boss. And so like a woman who tries to usurp the authority of a man in the church becomes a caricature of a man. He doesn't become a man. She becomes a caricature of a man. And why do you think this is the case? Like transsexuals, right? Like they dress like females that dress like males, males that dress like females. They don't become females. They become caricatures of a female. It's like the most it's gross. It's gross. Everything's exaggerated. Everything's like the worst traits that you could imagine a woman having. That's what they embrace, and it's just like it's just so disgusting. God makes you stupid when you rebel against Him, right? And so, look, I'm going to say this, and the reality is, all you men out there that are supporting Beth Moore usurping authority in the church and other women like her. All you men out there, you think you're doing the loving and kind thing, and you're shaking your head, and you're clutching your pearls over John MacArthur doing a biblical thing. All you men, they think you're being loving. You're actually putting these women in harm's way. You're actually putting them in a situation that they are not suited for. So they're going to act out, and they're going to lash out, and they're going to be in a very tough spot when it comes time for God to judge them. You're putting them in harm's way. Shame on you. Nobody should trust you to protect them in the flock. If you won't even protect these women who are in serious danger. Beth Moore is in serious danger, and nobody that's a friend of hers is protecting her and saying, you know what, Beth, you need to take a step back from this. You need to take a step back from this because God says that those of you who teach will have double judgment on you. Friends need to say that to her. Friends are saying that to her. John MacArthur is a friend to Beth Moore. It's just that simple. John MacArthur's a bigger friend to Beth Moore than Matt Chandler and Russell Moore and all these other people could ever hope to be. Beth Moore, John MacArthur's the best friend you got. So you need to listen to the words of the Lord. Because John MacArthur knows what the Lord is saying. He's very good at pulling from the text from that book and explaining it. He's very good at getting the sense of what the Word of God means. He's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But in this issue, he's doing a very good job. In this issue, Tom Askell's doing a very good job. These are the best friends you've got. Those of you who will tell you what God says. They won't soften it. They won't try to make it fit with our modern sensibilities and things like that. They'll just tell you what's what, and they'll tell it to you direct. They'll tell it to your face. Those are the best friends you've got. And the people that are your enemies right now are the ones that are placating you and propping you up and putting you in a position to fall flat on your face. And so, why is a woman not supposed to be an elder? Well, because God didn't make them suited for the job. He made them suited for other jobs that are necessary. Man, I look at my wife and how she treats our kids, and I'm just in wonder. I'm just in awe at how she treats our kids. But you know what? They need a father as well. Like for every time that my wife wants to step in and like help them solve their problems fair and square, they also need a father who says, let them work this out. And let's do some godly discipline when necessary. That's why like single mothers are in such a tough spot because they're trying to act like men a lot of the time, and they end up overacting a lot of the time too. That's why single mothers have such a hard time raising kids because it's a lot of what they have to do is against their nature to do. God didn't make women suited to be an elder in the church. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. We need to embrace that, man. We don't want to be essentially what amounts to transsexuals in the church, rebelling against God's design for us, propping up a woman who's unsuited for the job, in a job that she's going to fail because that's just how it is. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. God bless.